Welcome back, beautiful people. Today we are going to be doing Am I the A-hole Reddit stories. I have Nala here hanging out. She would like to say hello. And we're going to jump right into it. Am I the a-hole for showing up my brother's girlfriend by getting him a birthday gift he liked more and not warning her I was getting a big gift? I, 25 female, have a twin brother, 25 male. Growing up, our favorite pastime was building Lego together. Our family couldn't afford it often, so the sets we had were treasured, and we'd always buy bags of loose bricks from charity shops whenever we saw them. It was a major bonding time for us, making things together, and my brother claims that those days of playing Lego is what inspired him to go on to become an architect.
Just build their buildings.
Aw, that's so cute. It was our birthday on Friday, and we had a small thing with family. My boyfriend of 3 years, 27 male, was there, and so was my brother's girlfriend of 2 years, 24 female. During the gift exchange, we left each other's presents to last, as we always have, and opened our respective gifts. They were very nice and enjoyable, nothing to complain about on either side. When we exchanged gifts, however, it led to some laughs and delight on both sides. I got him the Neuschwanstein, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, Castle Lego set, and he got me the Notre Dame Lego set. Aww, you guys are so cute. He clearly loved his gift and was going on about how excited he was to build it and how he'd be spending his next day off working on it. He showed a lot more enthusiasm for this than the watch his girlfriend got him, though he had clearly liked that too. Since then, his girlfriend has reached out to me, insisting I tried to show her up deliberately by getting him a gift he'd like more, and how she was trying to treat him like an adult with her gift, while I was encouraging him to be childish. I don't like his girlfriend already. She also thinks we somehow planned this gift exchange as we both got Lego for each other.
Wait, what?
Maybe she doesn't know him as well as she thinks she does. Because if Lego was such a big part of your childhood, I think she would understand why you both would spontaneously choose to give that to each other. It actually makes a lot of sense. I had to tell her no, it's just something we have always enjoyed together, and it's just natural we'd do this. I also told her that I had no intention of showing her up, but that if she really wanted to win the day with gifts, she should have considered his interests and not worried about what seems appropriate for an adult.
It's Lego. It's fine.
Then she pivoted to the fact that she is his girlfriend and I should have warned her I was getting an expensive gift. Okay. Before I even finish this, I just have to say this girl is making yours and his birthday about her, and that's like yellow. No, that's a full-on red flag. I pointed out my brother didn't warn my boyfriend, but she insisted that doesn't matter. Okay, double standard. That I should have. No, that logic is not sound. Sorry, brother's girlfriend, your logic does not hold up.
How does your well-known logic explain that?
Was I in the wrong for not giving her warning and leading to her feeling shown up as a result? I have never felt the need to give warning when my brother dated, but maybe I should have. No. Nope. That you are definitely not the a-hole in this situation. I think what you and your brother did was really sweet, and the fact that you both thought to get each other Lego sets is super adorable and just reflects how special that part of your life is. And that's like a really, important part of your bond together. I think she's the one being the a-hole, 100%. I don't understand why she can't just be happy and delighted like the rest of you, because the gifts being given are about the people receiving them, not about the people giving them. Like, did she want a big reaction about the watch? If so, it sounds like she's more focused on the attention that would be on her for giving the watch instead of the attention on him for getting things that he enjoy.
Oh, do you think your birthday is about you?
And what's wrong with having a nice watch and a Lego set? Like, who cares? I don't know. This girl sounds like she needs to do a little bit of growing up. And it's ironic because she wanted to get him a gift that was more appropriate for an adult, yet she's the one acting like a child. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, there's definitely no reason to be questioning yourself. And I think that you and him getting each other the Lego sets was like perfect. And I hope that you both have lots of fun building your Lego sets. And I hope she grows up a little bit because unnecessary drama alert. Let's see what the comments say. Not the a-hole. Her gift to you is a pair of huge red flags. Make time for a chat with your brother about what she said, for it is a very controlling way of behaving. Yes, absolutely. Totally agree, especially since they are twins. I have a set of twins. That bond just hits different. This won't be the last time the girlfriend does something like this. Also, I'm in my 40s and have a stack of to-be-built Lego. She can suck it. Yeah, my partner loves Lego sets. It was really awesome for his birthday this year. His family got him a Lego old school Nintendo. And it like even had a little Lego game that could insert inside of it. He built it and it looks just like a real Nintendo. It's really cool. And he has it like on display in his house. Adults are allowed to have hobbies and enjoy crafts and fun things. Like, I don't know what is this girl's problem, but I appreciate the commenter who said it's a controlling way of behaving, because it definitely is the beginning of what could turn into a very toxic dynamic. And your brother, yeah, should be made aware that this kind of behavior is happening. I don't know if she talked to him about it, but somebody should make it known to him that this drama was started. Girlfriend is definitely jealous and insecure of OP's bond with her brother. She'll definitely try to come between them. And if she thinks things that make him happy are childish and beneath him, then she doesn't really care about him or his well-being. Yeah. Why is she trying to make him act anything other than what is authentic for him? If he likes Lego, let the man like Lego. What is the problem? No thanks. Anyways, on to the next one. Am I the a-hole for causing my family drama over a swimming pool?
Who paid this for?
So I know from experience that Reddit isn't the most understanding towards parents of young kids, but I really just want a third-party option because this situation is driving me crazy and my family are saying I need to get over it. Let us judge you, darling. Tell us everything. I, female in my 30s, live with my partner and our 2 kids, ages 7 and 3. My older sister, Ava, also female in her 30s, and her husband recently purchased a house in the local area. It's a super nice place with a big yard, and as you can probably guess from the title, a swimming pool. Ava recently hosted a barbecue at her place. It wasn't a huge event. She invited me, our parents, and our other siblings. She mentioned letting the kids play in the pool, so I only assumed my kids would get to be included. We are potty training, although my youngest is still in diapers at the moment. At the barbecue, I was getting my youngest ready for the pool by changing him into a swim diaper. Ava pulled me aside and told me she doesn't think it's hygienic for my youngest to play in the pool, since swim diapers don't hold pee, and she asked that he doesn't swim in the pool with the other kids playing in it.
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
I didn't think this was fair and told Ava that lots of people, adults and kids, pee in the pool and it would be no different at a public pool, so what's the problem? She was being really condescending and wouldn't listen to me at all, and said that he can play in the pool when he's toilet trained, and said it's not fair to the other kids. At this point, my son was crying because he wanted to swim in the pool, and I told Ava she was being cold, but it's her house and her pool, so do what you want. Ava accused me of trying to guilt trip her and told me to just drop it. I was getting upset myself at this point, and I told our parents and other siblings about what Ava did. They told me it's not a big deal and that it's not worth arguing with her over, and try not to let it bother me. I wasn't happy with this because this essentially means they're siding with her and downplaying how she treated me and my son. I left the barbecue early with my family because we didn't feel welcome after that. The next day, Ava messaged me a whole paragraph saying that she's sorry, that I'm upset, and that she wasn't trying to exclude my son for the sake of it. It was a super non-apology, and I told her I don't want to hear it and that she's damaged her relationship with her nephew and she's not the one who had to deal with him being upset. Ava snapped at me out of nowhere and said I'm being dramatic. I told her to grow up and said that I have a very valid reason to be mad and she needs to stop acting like a teenager. Ava showed these messages to everyone and everything's just a bit up in the air. I feel like I'm right here, but the rest of my family doesn't seem to agree. Are you ready for a little bit of a truth bomb, OP? It's her pool. I don't understand why there couldn't have been a kiddie pool for the small bibbies to also enjoy playing in the water. If it's her pool and, you know, she doesn't want to take the risk of your son peeing in the pool, I think it's actually pretty reasonable to have the rule that if you want to play in the pool, you got to be potty trained. If anything, you could use it as an incentive to practice potty training with your baby.
Oh, that's my potty training journal.
And yeah, you might not like to hear this, but I think in this situation, you might be the a-hole. I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's not as big of a deal as I think it's been made out to be. Kids get disappointed. That's just the way it is in life. I think on the flip side of that, though, knowing that he was still in diapers, she could have definitely reached out to you before the barbecue and been like, hey, so the kids are going to be swimming in the pool. We have a rule where if you want to swim in the pool, you have to be potty trained, but we don't want so-and-so to feel excluded. So why don't we get a kiddie pool that we can set up just for him, and we can throw some toys in there and we can just let him know that that's his special pool. And if he wants to go in the big pool, he's got to practice potty training first. I think there's definitely a way that you guys could have approached this collaboratively. It sounds like she did try to apologize. Obviously, I don't know the exact contents of the text message, but just based off of what you said, it sounds like maybe there wasn't receptivity to her trying to extend an olive branch. But I also understand being a protective mama. So it's unfortunate that it all kind of turned out this way, but at the same time, I don't think that this situation is the type of situation to hold on to like discord in the family about. I think that it's reasonable for her to have that rule. It's reasonable for you to want your son included in the fun. And I think there's a middle ground that you guys could have worked towards together and still can, honestly. Let's see what the comments have to say. How are people voting? Not the a-hole here. You are the a-hole 100%. First and foremost, it's not your pool, it's Ava's, and it's totally reasonable for her to not want your kids piss in it. Thanks, I thought I was going crazy. OP is absolutely the a-hole. Lots of people, adults, kids, pee in the pool. That's why OP-Sis has a private pool with a no pee policy. LMAO, like any of the older potty trained kids are even going to admit they peed in the pool, which they will do, even the adults.
Not everybody pees in pools.
If you're an adult, don't be peeing in a private pool. That's not a thing. If that is a thing in your world, you need to cut that out. People pee in pools, unchanging and gross fact of life. This is why you treat pools with chemicals. And for the record, I think that peeing in the pool is disgusting, but that's not going to stop me from going in. I don't know if I agree with that one. It's a totally different thing to knowingly put someone in the pool who is deaf's gonna pee, and then they just start arguing about whether or not chlorine is the answer, and that if someone puts chlorine in their pool, if that makes it a non-issue. Man, this is like a hot topic. A lot of arguing about this. I am curious what you think. Why don't you let me know in the comments? Because it seems that the world is divided on this one. I said what I think. So yeah, let me know what you think.
Next!
Am I the a-hole for telling my entire family that I don't love them and never will because I'm the affair baby nobody wanted around anyways? Okay, so I'm 15 female, and yeah, I know this might get removed or clowned on or whatever, but honestly, I don't care. I just need to get it out somewhere because apparently I'm the one who took too far when I was just saying what we were all already thinking. So my mom cheated on her fiance with who also happened to be her best friend's husband, messy as hell and stupid. Yeah, but they all stayed together. Like, my mom still married her fiance. Her best friend stayed with the guy who cheated. Then I was born. I guess I was the cherry on top of that disaster. Oh, you're being so self-deprecating. It's not your fault that you were born from chaos. I grew up with my mom, her husband, and their 2 older kids. They had kids before me. My bio dad stayed with his wife and their kids at their house, and both families stayed weirdly blended. It was like a big performance. One big family with this unspoken rule to never bring up the affair that literally created me until I was old enough. But it was very apparent to me that I was not like the rest, even before they decided to tell me the actual story when I was 12. That's still pretty young to be told that story. My half-siblings that I grew up made it real clear I was the other. They never hit me or anything, but I got blamed for everything. If something was missing, it was me. If someone was crying, it was probably something I said. My sister once locked me out of the house and told me I should never have been born. I was 7. When I told my mom, she said I probably provoked it out of her, essentially. I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say that you are not the a-hole. This sounds awful, and I'm really sorry that this was your upbringing and your experience. Because kids can feel stuff, you know? Like, if there's things unspoken, people may think that they're hiding it well. Adults think that they're so clever, but kids are so in tune with what's going on usually, and they can pick up on even the most subtle shifts in energy. Kids deserve a lot more credit than they're given. And I can say that because I worked with kids for over a decade and I know this to be true. Even though I don't have any of my own, like, I've spent a lot of time around kids and they're just so much more than people give them credit for. So it makes sense that you would pick up on all of this, and I'm sorry that you got bullied. It sounds like you definitely got singled out here. She never really protected me. She took care of the basics, fed me, gave me clothes, showed up to parent-teacher conferences when she had to, but there was nothing behind it. Like she was doing a job she didn't sign up for and just wanted to clock out. The only time she got emotional with me was when I embarrassed her or if other people made her talk about me. Their dad, my mom's husband, was similar. He never yelled or hit me, but he never looked at me the way he did his kids. He never smiled at me, never came to my school plays, even though he went to all of theirs, never took me out on little special trips like the others. If I seemingly messed up, I got lectured like I was a criminal. If they did the same thing, it was just a teaching moment. He never called me his daughter, only by my name, unless he had to. I feel sad for you.
Horrible. Horrible.
The other kids, bio dad's side, mostly ignored me. Not mean, just distant. They barely spoke to me unless they had to. One gave me an old hoodie once, and that was as close to kindness as I got. When I was 9-something, I was officially done with everything. We were at a family birthday thing, and one of the older kids dared me to eat a cookie with nuts in it. I said no because I'm allergic. Obviously. So they smeared it on my face as a joke. I had a full-blown reaction, swollen face, couldn't breathe, ambulance, the whole thing. At the hospital, my mom cried and said I scared her, but when I told her what happened, she just said they didn't mean it like that. Mom, what the actual F? Like, your daughter almost died and you're downplaying the role that your other kids played in it? Like, this poor child, like, there's no way this child feels safe after this. Yeah, not okay. Her husband didn't even come see me. The kid got grounded for 1 weekend. I knew I didn't love them at all anymore right then and refused to act like I did. Yeah, well, they're not showing up for you the way that you deserve to have your family show up for you.
Your family sucks.
I gave everybody the bare minimum of affection and interaction so it didn't backfire on me, and I just sort of treated them like roommates and neighbors I vaguely knew. Fast forward to last weekend, my mom planned a family healing weekend with both sides of the family. Everyone was there, the siblings, the parents, cousins. It was all fake smiles and awkward silences. Then one of my mom's older kids made a snide joke about me causing drama just by existing.
Jail. Jail.
My mom laughed, everyone did. That's not okay. What the actual... Anyways, I am frustrated for you. This family sounds awful. You know what? They don't deserve you.
I don't have to put up with this stuff.
They are the ones that are missing out. By acting this way, they are also missing out on the version of you that you would feel safe to share if they appreciated you the way that you should be appreciated. And you have every right to exist and take up space and be yourself and feel safe and loved by those around you, regardless of their stupid mistakes and messiness that brought you in. That's wild. I do not. I'm mad. Give me your mom's number. I'll call her. I'll call her. Some things to say. Anyways, so I snapped on them and told them I don't love any of them and I never will. That I'm done pretending to give can't say that on YouTube about people who only pretend to care about me. That I'm not family to them and they are not my family either. I mean, how do they expect you to feel if this is how they've been treating you your whole life? Good for you for standing your ground and being like, no, I see what you're doing. I am not accepting it. And in fact, you can have it back. And I don't have any warmth towards you either.
Enough of this.
And it probably deep down really hurt you to do that. But at the end of the day, you didn't abandon yourself to appease everybody. If they're not going to be there for your inner child, you are there for your inner child. And that's actually very powerful. And I'm actually really proud of you.
Proud of you.
They all freaked out. My mom cried and begged me to take it back. Her husband told me I was vile and that he should have put his foot down with me years ago. The other kids screamed at me for spitting in the face of people who gave me a home. People who gave you a home? What are they talking about? That's literally their job as your parents. Even my bio dad's kids, who usually ignored me, were upset. One of them told me I was acting selfish and cruel. Now I'm grounded. I am typing this out from my old Fire tablet that my mom forgot to take. My half siblings keep glaring at me whenever we're in the same vicinity, and my mom's husband full on stared me down while I was eating breakfast this morning. Oh yeah, that's really, really mature, bro. Let's act intimidating towards a child.
Big man, I'm gonna act intimidating towards this child.
Who actually did something very in their power and did it in a response to how inappropriate the behavior has been towards them this whole time. I am so proud of you for doing this, and no, you are absolutely not the a-hole. If they pushed you to the point where you had to exclaim this to everybody, especially on a healing weekend, you would think that they would create space for you to explain why your feelings have got to this point and hold space for you to safely express yourself, and then also do the work themselves to look at the roles and the parts that they've played in you feeling this way. You're the kid. You are not responsible for them. You are not responsible for being any type of way other than yourself. I am very upset in your honor right now on your behalf. I would like to tell your family that they suck. And I hope that you find a really good counselor who's going to be able to nurture this obvious fire that you have inside of you. And I think it's amazing. And you just keep being you, regardless of what your family are doing. Anyways, I'm not allowed to say any of what I just said on YouTube, but just know that you are not the a-hole. You get one of these. Proud of you. And your whole family gets a whole bunch of these because they suck. They suck. All right, let's see what the comments have to say. Not gonna lie, not the a-hole. Your family sounds genuinely awful. I think you start planning your way out ASAP. Get a job and save up. Then once you find somewhere to go, you pack bags, take all your important documents, and go no contact. You deserve better than this. Good luck, OP. I second and third and fourth this. You deserve better than this. They don't deserve you. They do not deserve you. Looks like OP is already saving up for college and other stuff. That's awesome. Fake it until you make it out of there and start preparing as secretly as you can so they cannot sabotage you. Get your documents, like birth certificates, etc. Yeah. So a lot of the advice is all along the same vein of you need to just get away from these people, start preparing what you need to cut them out of your life, and you go thrive. You cut away all of this dysfunction and toxicity. It doesn't matter if they are your blood family. You deserve people around you that treat you like family should be treating each other. And you're going to find that in chosen family. And sometimes that's even more special, you know? So power to you, OP. Thank you for sharing this story. And just know that I am behind you. And it looks like most of the internet is behind you and your family. Once again, your family sucks. All right, on to the next one after that craziness. Am I the a-hole for calling out my mother-in-law's lie and causing drama at family dinner? Mother-in-law was not at our wedding because she got called into work. I was a bit surprised because she knew the date for 9 months ahead of time, and surely she could have put in for time off and not to be on call that day. She is a cardiac surgeon, and I don't know exactly how her job works, but no one is on call 365 days a year. When her mom questioned her the day of, mother-in-law's excuse was that she's never not on call, but that doesn't make any sense. She goes on like 2 vacations a year. She does stuff a couple hours away on her days off. How is she always on call? I didn't say anything at the time because it was such a weird situation. We had a family dinner recently and someone mentioned not seeing mother-in-law at the wedding. Mother-in-law said she got called into work and the person was like, "On your son's wedding? That's awful." Mother-in-law only shrugged and said she knew what her job was when she signed up for it. About 20 minutes later, mother-in-law's husband said they were going camping over the weekend. Someone asked where, and the place is like a 2-hour drive. So I asked how they were going to go camping 2 hours away if she's on call every single day of her life. Mother-in-law literally told me to shut up. Ooh. Even mother-in-law's dad questioned it. And mother-in-law got dramatic and was like, "Fine, next time I'll tell the person to just die." Woo. Her husband told me I was rude and shouldn't ask questions that I might not want answers to. What does that mean? And then she stormed into the other room. Mother-in-law texted me the next day about why do I like embarrassing her in front of people and why do I want her parents to hate her. I think it's a fair question though. Like, if she can go on a camping trip 2 hours away, obviously she's not on call. Like, what if she ever goes camping somewhere out of service? You said she goes on vacations. It sounds like she just didn't put that much importance on your wedding. I think the comment by her husband indicates that there's a reason she didn't prioritize your wedding. Clearly, you guys don't get along. Maybe she's not too happy about the fact that her son married you. I don't know what your dynamic is outside of this situation, but yeah, it sounds like there's some behind the scenes happenings going on that are influencing things, some behind the scenes feelings that have not yet come to light.
Tell us how you really feel. Am I right?
Your question is valid, though. I don't think that you're the a-hole in this situation. I would be wondering the same thing. I would probably also question it in front of everybody the way that you did. I'm curious to know what her son thinks happened. I also understand that being a cardiac surgeon is like next level pressure, and it's my understanding that doctors do get called in all the time over everything. But I feel like if she had 9 months notice, she can probably get somebody else to cover for her during that time. I don't really know. Maybe the other person covering was sick. Let's see what the comments say. Not the a-hole. It's a valid question. She couldn't attend the wedding because of an emergency. Well, what happens when she's off for 2 weeks on a vacation? Yeah, exactly. It could be she just didn't notify whoever she needed to notify she needed to not be on call that day, figuring the chance of her getting called in was low. That's just poor planning, though. Or maybe the surgeon they were going to put on call instead of her had some kind of emergency. There's no reason to read anything malicious into it, except her defensive reaction is pretty telling. Yeah, that was something that I wondered, was like maybe the person who was supposed to be on call got sick, which is why she got called in. Or maybe there's like the specific type of cardiac issue maybe was too advanced for the person that was on call, and they had to call her in because even though she wasn't supposed to be on call, it was just too complex of an issue and it was a really rare thing. But she could have explained that to you if that was the case, right? Even if it was just the other person being on call was sick, she could have given you more information. And her defensiveness and her husband's little comment there indicates that I think it was by choice that she didn't make herself so available. I don't think you are the a-hole, though. Plus, I think the added comment of don't ask questions you might not want answers to tells OP that any suspicions they might be having are valid ones. Yes. Yeah, like the only people who ever say that sentence are people who want to say something mean to the other person, warranted or not, and they think they're holding back. If the grandparents like OP, maybe mother-in-law knows that opening her mouth may make her even more unpopular with her own parents. Yeah. Yep, there's stuff going on under the surface that she just doesn't want to say out loud, and you are not letting her fake it. And for that, you get a lovely green flag. Keep questioning the ridiculous. And she gets one of these. All right, on to the next one. Am I the a-hole for canceling my wedding after I found out my fiance's ex was invited by his family? I, 27 female, and my fiance, Alex, 30 male, have been engaged for a year and we're planning our wedding for the end of summer. Everything was going smoothly until a couple weeks ago when Alex's family dropped a bombshell.
What did you say? What did you just say?
Alex's family is very close-knit and has always been involved in our wedding planning. Recently, I have found out that they have invited Alex's ex, Sarah, 29 female, to the wedding. Alex and Sarah were dating for about 5 years and broke up about 2 years ago. They're still on good terms, but I was never comfortable with the idea of her being at our wedding. When I brought this up to Alex, he said that it's a family tradition to invite former partners if they're still friends, and that it would be rude to exclude her. That's a weird family tradition, just saying. But I mean, teach their own, teach their own. I can't really say that's not okay because I was invited to my ex's wedding and him and I have maintained a friendship. We're not like super, super close, but we dated for 3 years and I was good friends with him for years after that. And I mean, I had a bit of a friendship with his now wife though as well, and we were also on good terms and had a like have a trust bond, so maybe it's a different situation. He insisted that it's no big deal and that Sarah is just a part of their extended social circle. I tried to explain that having Sarah at our wedding made me feel uncomfortable and undermined the significance of the event for me. Alex's response was that I was being unreasonable and selfish for not considering his family's feelings. Alex? Alex? What are you doing? He argued that it would cause unnecessary drama if we uninvited Sarah now. How about the drama that is happening presently because you invited her, though? Hello? And that we should just focus on enjoying the day, but you're literally telling him that you're not going to be able to enjoy the day because of this. He's totally dismissing your feelings right now. I couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just about inviting an ex, but also about my place in Alex's life and whether I was truly a priority. Yeah, girl. Yep, I agree. After a lot of back and forth, I decided that I couldn't go through with the wedding under these circumstances. Way to hold your boundary, babe. Way to hold your ground. I canceled the venue and all the plans we had made, explaining to Alex and his family that I couldn't commit to marrying someone who wasn't willing to respect my feelings about such a significant issue. Yes, because even if they don't think it's significant, you have communicated that it is a significant issue to you, and that is valid, and that is enough for it to be important to them as well, if they hold you to the esteem that somebody should be holding the person in your position in the family. Now, Alex and his family are furious with me. Let them be furious. Let them go be mad over there. You just stand in your power. I love this for you. They believe I'm overreacting and that I should have been more accommodating. It's your wedding day. Anyways, some of my friends and family think I did the right thing, while others feel I might have acted too impulsively. So, am I the a-hole for canceling my wedding after finding out that my fiance's ex was invited by his family? Edit, whoa guys, I never expected this post to blow up the way it did. I'm trying to respond to as many comments as I can, but thank you for the unwavering love and support. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have an opinion about this, but I'm sure a lot of people see your perspective, because from where I'm standing, Alex is being an idiot and his family is not being fair. They lost. I think that at the end of the day, it's your wedding, and your comfort on the day of your wedding is more important than anything that's going on with any of the guests. And if you go to your husband to be and say, I'm not comfortable with this person, especially someone that's been intimate with him in that way, it's so reasonable for you to feel that way. And as your partner, he should have validated your feelings and acted accordingly instead of dismissing them and tried to just force you to go along with something that you are not comfortable with. I think you dodged a bullet, and I think you did the right thing by dropping this man and his family. Let's see what the comments have to say. Why is his family sending invites? Good point. And how would they have felt if you had invited one of your exes as a family tradition? I agree, irrespective of how they may have felt or their intentions, sending out invites to someone else's wedding is crackers, especially to potentially controversial guests like exes. With how sneaky and insistent the family were as well, I feel like this was done to sabotage or at least humble OP. Yeah, it's almost like they wanted her to know her place in the family. And there's like this unspoken hierarchy and seniority of like, well, she's known us longer than you two have been together, so we're prioritizing her, even though you're the wife to be. And that is just not a dynamic that you want to be involved in. I don't want to sound like my tinfoil hat is getting steam cleaned, but this family tradition seems like an excuse to intimidate and almost test the new bride or groom. I'd be interested to know if this tradition is new and how fairly it is applied. And if new spouses who the family get on with are also encouraged to bring exes or share their day with their partner's exes. Also, I find it crazy that the husband allowed the wedding to be canceled instead of uninviting an ex-girlfriend that he's apparently only on friendly, wider social circle terms with. I feel like either something fishy is going on or his family just love her and he's a massive doormat. At least OP found out her potential husband would have never sided with her or defended her to his family before marrying into this nonsense. Imagine buying property, moving house, or having kids with a man who's going to let his family steamroll your every decision. It is a no for me. I agree. Very, very well put by this poster. On to the next one. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Am I the a-hole for threatening to evict my estranged dad and his family from the house they currently live in? Some background. My parents divorced when I was 10 because dad quit his job and refused to work so he can gamble and drink all day. Off to a not great start. Our country has crappy laws about child support, so mom had to support my sister and me on her own. Growing up, I tried reconnecting with my dad, but it felt like all effort to reconcile was from me. So eventually I gave up and minimized contact. I kept in touch with dad's side of the family, his siblings, and my cousins. I have a good relationship with them. Fast forward to now, my sister and I are living comfortable lives. Our parents remarried, my mom married a nice man, and they live overseas. 5 years ago, my dad married a girl who's the same age as my younger sister. She was horrible. Whenever my sister would reach out to her dad, she'd get pissed and accuse my sister of trying to steal him. They have a son, and I've been nice to him, but because our dad's wife continued her rotten streak, my sister and I decided to cut ties with them. Good for you guys. Cut out those high conflict individuals. Dad's mom died last year. A few months ago, my aunt, dad's older sister, who's in charge of their parents' assets, called to tell us about our grandmother's will. Our grandfather is also dead, by the way. All our grandparents' assets have been divided among grandkids, and I got my grandparents' house. The house where my father and his family live. Since I live miles away from the said house and have no plans of moving there, my aunt suggested I sell it and keep the money for myself. Talk about being put in a power position. Oh yeah. My aunt was pretty insistent that I sell the house because she said it's what my grandmother would want. My dad neglected her during the last years of her life and put her in a home. That's not nice. He also apparently sold her burial lot to buy drugs.
Somebody has to stop him.
This man sounds horrible, so I agreed to sell the house since it's my inheritance after all. I haven't sold the house yet, but I called my dad to tell him about it so they can start looking for a house. I wanted to give him a heads up and told him they can stay as long as I don't have a buyer yet. My dad was obviously not pleased, but he didn't argue. Meanwhile, his wife got angry and called to scream at me, saying I was being selfish and I didn't need the house. She let slip that her parents and siblings also live there, so basically freeloading off of it. She tried to make me feel guilty because now they have to rent. I ignored her. Then she went on harassing me via text and called me names. At this point, I got pissed, so told her that if she doesn't stop harassing me, I will have them evicted ASAP, even if no one is buying the house yet. Yeah, like, why is she trying to throw her weight around? You're the one in the power position. If anything, she should be sucking up to you. Like, wild. My dad found out and he told me I was an a-hole to his wife. His siblings found out and they had my back. They said that his wife was never nice to them. And apparently, she's the one who persuaded my dad to remove my grandmother from her own house and put her in an elderly home so her own family can move in. Well, she is definitely the a-hole of this story. They both get a big red flag, and you get a green flag for standing your ground, not engaging in the high conflict that she was trying to pull you into, and making an awesome power move. I don't think you're the a-hole in this situation at all. I think you are dealing with two a-holes. We have an update. This past week was exhausting, both physically and mentally, but here's an update. Following most of the advice here, I decided to have them evicted as soon as I could. Good for you. A couple of days after my post, I flew out to my parents' hometown where the house was. I decided to stay for a week. I asked my best friend for moral support, so he flew in the next day. My aunt was able to get me in touch with her lawyer there, who gave me the papers I needed to establish ownership of the house. She also got me in touch with the local police. My aunt is out of the country, so she couldn't be there. Your aunt sounds like she's like solid though. Yeah, she's there. Even though she's not there, she's there with you, you know? In my country, there are laws protecting squatters and they can actually dispute being evicted. So I spoke to the cops and asked for help in the case in case things get ugly. It's a small town where people know everybody. They know how much of an a-hole my dad was, and my grandma was highly respected in the town because she used to be an educator. It didn't take a lot of convincing for them to agree to help. I contacted the old caretaker of the house, whom my dad fired. Wow, these people have just been burning bridges left and right, and still expecting it to go their way. That's not how it works. I asked her to accompany me. I also did some digging for information. Apparently, the wife and her family have a house, but mine was way bigger and nicer. 2 days after I flew in, I went to the house with my best friend, the caretaker, and a couple of cops to give my dad and the freeloaders a 3 days notice. As expected, my dad's wife made a scene and became hysterical because they'd be homeless, called me heartless, ungrateful, cruel, etc. My dad was passive. He acted the same way when my mom kicked him out. Didn't argue, but also never admitted his faults. He said he wouldn't wait for 3 days and would leave the next day. He told me that I was an ungrateful daughter and that I would get my karma. I'm pretty sure he's getting his karma right now. This situation is his karma. A lot of people here advised me to make sure they wouldn't steal stuff, but I honestly don't care. About the stuff, I told them they can take what they need except for a few pieces of furniture, the hardwood and antique ones that Grandma loved. It would make cleaning up easier. Come eviction day, I didn't speak to them. I just watched as they hauled their stuff onto a truck, paid the caretaker to clean the house in the next days, and told her she can have whatever she wanted from the house. Grandma would have approved. Had the locks changed, installed extra locks, chained the gates, cut contact with my dad and his wife. Next step, the selling. I'm planning to sell it below market value just to get it over with, and that's that. I still have a lot to do in terms of selling the house, but at least the drama is over. I am tired, but relieved. Thank you to everyone here who gave me advice. You are taking care of business, and I love that for you. Just like not engaging in their drama, being very matter of fact, lining up the support you need, preparing for worst case scenario, but just, yeah, not wavering at all throughout the whole thing. That's amazing. His passiveness doesn't surprise me at all. That's probably how she gets away with being such an a-hole. I feel like a-hole people are kind of attracted to passive people because they can get away with more crap, if that makes sense. People that just won't stand up to them. And of course she threw a tantrum when you stood up to her because that's not what she's used to. She's used to just throwing her weight around and getting her way. And you didn't let that happen. You held your own. That's amazing. Another green flag for you, my dear. Congratulations. I hope your house sells for a nice chunk of change. And then you can move into your next season of life with a nice gift from Grandma. Let's see what the comments have to say. Dad is going to be shocked when his wife puts him in an elder's home down the line. He isn't thinking about how she was a-okay doing this to other people, then she would have no qualms doing it to him. He might enjoy the respite from her. I mean, he might. This is true. This is true.
Well, that's all I got for you today, beautiful people. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a like if you liked these stories. I will see you next time. Mwah.